Hey guys, Jem here with another book review. This time I'm going to be reviewing Torn by Amanda Hocking, the second in the Trill trilogy. I rate this an 8 out of 5. I mean, not 8 out of 5. 8.5 out of 10. And it was like, I really liked the second book better than the first one, because this one had a little bit more drama in it, and it had some revealings about some of the characters too. So it gave more in depth to some of the characters that it didn't do in the last book, Switched. So onto the synopsis. Oh wait, this is going to be a little bit of a spoiler review. So if you don't want to have spoilers for the second book, you can leave the page. But if you have read the book and you don't mind any spoilers, stay. So on to the synopsis. When Wendy Everly first discovered the truth about herself, that she's a changeling switched at birth, she knew her life would never be the same. Now she's about to learn that there's more to the story. Wendy shares a closer connection to her Vitra rivals than she ever imagined, and they'll stop at nothing to lure her to their side. With the threat of war looming, her only hope of saving the trail is to master her magical powers and marry an equally powerful royal. But that means walking away from Finn, her handsome bodyguard who's strictly off limits, and Loki, a Vitra prince with whom she shares a growing attraction. Torn between her heart and her people, between love and duty, Wendy must decide her fate. If she makes the wrong choice, she could lose everything and everybody she's ever wanted in both worlds. So, in the beginning of in this book, it starts off at how it left off in the second book. It starts with her going home to Matt, and with Riss too. And she tells Matt as much as she can without like spoiling the whole troll thing, and how Riss is how Riss is Matt's brother, real brother. But then that night, the Vitra, they attack and they kidnap all three of them because Aunt Maggie wasn't home. And they take all three of them to the dungeon, and she meets Loki. Loki is a Markson, whatever. I can't remember what the other one was called. A Marcus. There we go. He's a Marcus of the Vitra. His father used to be Trill, but left and went to the Vitra and then tried going back to Trill, but then was apparently executed by the Vitra. Anyway, she has like a connection to him, and so there's that. Then there becomes a love triangle between her, Finn, and Loki. And then Finn had been relieved from duty, like in the last book, and so she has a new tracker named Duncan. So they all get rescued and taken back to the palace in Trill, in Foreigning. And Matt and Willa get a little acquainted, you know. They end up being together in this book. And apparently Riss and Rhiannon are dating too. And then there's also but then apparently they find out this whole like marriage arrangement. It was like an arranged marriage that was even before Wendy was born. It was like arranged for her. She is apparently supposed to marry Tove. The Tove Kroner. The guy who was supposed to be next in line for the throne if Wendy didn't make it back. So they are to be wed. And a surprising thing about Tove, I actually didn't see it coming. Well, I sort of saw it coming. I don't know why. It's just like I could just tell. I don't know. Some books are predictable. Sometimes I just know like right away. But apparently Tove is gay. Yeah. So and Finn knows, and that's why Finn's okay with Wendy marrying Tove and Tove marrying her, because they don't love each other but they're friends. Understand me? And Loki apparently asked her to run away, asked Wendy to run away with him and marry him and all that because he didn't want to go back to Onderreich, where the Vitra live. Apparently, Vitra's king is Wendy's biological father. Apparently, she's the princess to two thrones, and that's why the Vitra were like so intent on getting her back. And while like all this drama happens, like you find out that you find out a lot of things, who's with who, but the most shocking, the thing that really like pulled me in, like it's near the end though, so there's that. Tove being gay, like I like LGBTQ characters because they're like so much more interesting because then it's like because the straight characters are like I don't know, they're kind of like more predictable for some reason unless it's like really like complex and interesting books like Beautiful Disaster. But this book, I just knew from the first book, it's like there's that guy, Finn Holmes, who's always staring at me. I just knew there was going to be some kind of love connection there, even though, like, it kept trying to steer us off in the wrong direction. I just knew. It's just more interesting to see the romance of LGBTQ characters, because aren't that many, because it's always, like, the main character is straight, and it's only, like, minor characters that have, minor LGBTQ characters who have maybe will have a romance. And I just like that because like sometimes because when it comes out that one of the minor characters but sort of important but still important to the plot is LGBTQ, then it starts to like swerve the camera to them and like has a close up on their relationship, which I think is really nice. I like that. Like how Cassie did it in like the 4th and 5th books with the Malik relationship and shipping. So Tove is gay, and this book has a bonus story inside of it, like the other softback of Switch. And so in this, it gives you 3 points of views: Loki's, Finn's, and Tove's. In Tove's point of view, he meets this like guy at the engagement party. Him and Wendy's engagement party, and meets this Marcus named Bane. And it's like, you got some chemistry going on there. You just know something's gonna happen. Which I really want him to like, I don't know. I just want things to happen. It's like, it's not clear who Wendy has more feelings for. Finn or Loki, so there's still that love triangle thing, but she has to marry Tove. It's like this one, it's like, hold up, let me remember this. I'm trying to remember. I can't remember. Right, here it is. Alora, who is Wendy's mother, says marriage has nothing to do with romance, and I quote her on that right here in this book, which I think it's sad because it honestly because I really think it should have romance. Like, you should love you should marry the person if you love them, but they're just like marrying for political reasons. They don't even not like forcing their kids to marry another and don't even care if they love them. It's just for like peace or whatever, or strengthening the bloodline, which I think is just ridiculous. I really do want them to be able to be with who they want, like, because I want to see more of the drama of the Finn, Loki, and Wendy love triangle there, but then I want to see Tove and Bane, because I want to see their relationship sprout right now, because like even though they just met, it's like there's just something there that that something's going to happen between them. And then I want some more, like, into Riss and Rhiannon's relationship, and also Matt and Willa's. Because even though this book was mostly on, like, Wendy, like, trying to Wendy's relationship, it was more focused around the relationship and like the difficulties and everything, and then her being engaged. So there's that, but I want more insight on the other one. So I hope the next book has more of that. And I hope something happens between Tove and Bane. I'm just waiting for that to happen. It's like, I just love, I don't know, I just love LGBTQ characters. They're just like, so, yes. It's like, because their life is so complicated. They can't come out. And it like frustrates them sometimes. It makes them more depressed. But it just makes them more complex and interesting character to read about. You understand? So, that's why I mostly like, Tove right now. Tove is, like, my fave character. So, alongside with Loki. Loki's just, like, nice. I just like him. Alright, the next book, and that's all I have to say. Again, an 8.5 out of 10. The next book I'm going to be reading is, let's see here, if I can get this book. Ascend. So I can finally finish, and apparently it has a bonus story, so I can, hopefully it ends on a good note, and not, like, completely terrible, and making me want to cry, and hit myself, with a cement brick. Then after that, I'm going to be reading Wildfire. Then after Wildfire, I'm going to be reading Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. Then most likely after that, I'll read Hollow City and Echoes and Embers. And then I'm definitely going to read An Abundance of Catherines by John Green because I own the book. So I want to get started and read this. Because it's really thin too. So those are the books I have lined up for now. I need to see if I can borrow Echoes and Embers and then Hollow City from some of my friends so I can continue these series here. So there's that. That's all I really have to say. I guess I'll see you guys later. Bye!